Welcome back to another edition of Rod's Tabletop Hoops. Today's episode is going to be an error and a review concerning CB2K basketball by Andy Vaselio. I just finished 2 complete games of this college-based basketball game. It also has a little bit of Olympic-type seasons as well, but it's about 99% college-oriented, and mostly PDFs, but a combination of printed cards and PDFs. And this, as you know, is my 1983 NCAA Final Four set of teams that I got online, very reasonably priced, right around $8 plus about $4.50 for printing, and then I cut them myself. But I realized after playing 2 games and reading a certain rule in the instruction booklet, which is about 10 pages long and fairly well organized, I read this same rule 3, maybe 4 times, and not until the 4th time did it click that I was making a mistake while playing this game. And the mistake results on the team defensive card. And this certain area that says basket and pass. As you can see with Louisville 82-83, they give up a basket and pass on 7 and 8. Well, the rule that I understood and read the first couple times said it says basket/pass. Now, it'll only count as a basket if you look inside the field of the 3-point shot and it doesn't have the word pass inside the 3-point shot. Well, virtually every player's card, say Rodney McRae here, says under 3-point, it says pass, which to me, on the surface, meant that basket becomes a pass and you just continue the ball movement, you continue the play as scheduled. Well, upon the 4th time of reading this rule, and I'm going to read the entire rule and see if you can catch what I missed. It basically says under the part 4, basket and pass, potential 2-point field goal attempt. Refer to the offensive player's 3-point rating. A pass results if there is a pass rating after the 3-point rating, as in the example of Leon Tolksdorf. While a 2-point basket, if there is not a pass, in quotes, after the 3-point rating, Brandon Young and Kadeem Batts, a made basket results in an assist opportunity. Now, I read that pass multiple times and did not realize until I looked at the sample cards they included under Leon Tolksdorf, of all people. And the pass is in brackets, and it's capitalized. Now, I did not make the distinction, knowing if these rules were up to date or not, that there was a difference between a pass that's all capitalized in brackets versus a pass that's just in smaller, lowercase PASS. Well, that final sentence that I read to you in that rule, that says, where is it? A 2-point basket results if there is not a pass after the 3-point rating, and that's the capital PASS in brackets. And it says Brandon Young and Kadeem Batts, and both Brandon Young and Kadeem Batts just have the simple pass with lowercase, and it means the basket occurs. Therefore, it means in my first 2 games, I gave passes where I should have had baskets. And that could have been the reason, just in my final game I just played, Louisville versus Georgia, team field goal percentages were in the toilet in the 38-37% range, when every time I went to the team defensive card, there was never a basket. It was always a pass or a miss. Now, that can radically change the defensive ability of a certain team on team defense, as well as the number of shots taken during a CB2K game. So that was the huge mistake that I made, and now I'm going to play a 3rd game and do it the proper way. And that is definitely none of these players in this lineup here have more than the small lowercase pass. Milt Wagner just has a 2 to 6 and 11, does not have the capital PASS in brackets. That must be a rare item for players who don't shoot a lot of shots. So as you can see on the University of Houston, they all have pass in their column. So I'm going to play some of this game in which you have 100 very small, very fumbleable, I know that's a word, fast action cards. And I had to cut each one of those out. On the PDF, I think I did a reasonably good job. They're all reasonably close to the same size. I stayed within the lines. And each card has an offensive possession area where it says power forward here. You flip the next card and you use the secondary word there, offense. So it'd be like power forward, offensive column. Very simplified game. And very well done. Except for the fact that in those instructions, Andy confused me with that rule about the team defensive card in the basket versus pass. So, but anyway, you got 100 cards, and you use those 100 cards for 20 minutes of gameplay. The game regulates the pace of play based on the number of passes per minute played each player has, based on the number of field goal attempts they probably allowed. And there was another thing. I was a little low on field goal attempts per team in each of my first 2 games, and I was wondering why. So now the team defensive card is actually going to give up a basket once in a while. That'll make a humongous difference. But either way, I digress. 50 cards is 10 minutes of play. 25 cards is 5 minutes of play. You can break this up as many times as you want instead of throwing time markers in there. You just split it or make 2 equal piles, and that's roughly 5 minutes per 25 cards. But anyway, I like putting it right now. I can put it in 2 stacks of 10. Not 10, 2 stacks of 50. And I know that 50 cards is going to be 10 minutes of play, and I just switch to the next deck. So each card, to get to the review portion of this video, has an offensive column, and they have a defensive column. And basically that is going to play out. You're either going to have a play that refers to an offensive column, a defensive column, or the team defensive column, a la Stratomatic basketball. And a lot of people like having a team defensive card. And these defensive cards are fairly nondescript. They show how many fouls you draw, how many baskets you allow. It looks like Houston gave up a reasonably low field goal percentage, and there's only a foul 2 right there on 2. One of the homemade rules that Andy put into the rules for home court advantage says if you're the home team, you switch where the foul 2 and the turnover offensive foul is, and that'll give a few less offensive fouls if you are the home team. But, they become foul 2 on the opposing player. So that can turn a game around as well. I'm not going to do that for this particular demonstration. But your offensive results can be a basket, an assist, a foul 2. Pretty self-explanatory items. You have just general turnovers. You can just pass the ball. This little asterisk only occurs if there's a player with, say, Lancaster Gordon has a 3 asterisk, and if there was a bracket with a dice roll range inside of it. And I think it's a 2 to 12 dice roll range, and you roll, and he could take over a pass and actually take over the offense or the defense on certain plays if that player shot a lot. I imagine if you played 1970 Pistol Pete Maravich on LSU and he averaged 44 a game, he's going to have probably a huge rating on that. So anyway, each player has an offensive and a defensive card. They're also rated on rebounding per position, power forward and center for Scooter McRae in this case. They got designated rest. That's a good way to tell how much to play a guy per half, or you can actually just tell who the starters and the reserves are, because the reserves are going to have much larger rest amounts. Say Brian Williams of Houston, 20 minutes rest per half. That means he obviously didn't play a ton. And there's also ratings for injuries. Let's get Lancaster Gordon out here. Lancaster has an NA on injury, so if someone got hurt and you need to do a pre-game injury roll, like Alvin Franklin has a 2 to 3 and 12, missed a few games. Lancaster Gordon has a 0. They're rated for assists, so if that's a non-automatic assist, you can get regular assists throughout the offense. You have a free throw rating of 2 to 8 and 11 for Lancaster here. and the three-point rating if you have the three-pointer in play. And a lot of these years, the three-pointer was not in play. It was just coming into vogue within the next couple of years. And there are a couple of 1983 teams that actually utilized the three-pointer enough, including NC State. And I believe Georgia might have done a few three-point shots as well. But kind of makes it interesting when you want to play with or without the three-point shot during these early years of the three-pointer. The cards are actually kind of cool at the top. They don't have a lot of stats, which I always like having a couple stats, or even some suggested lineups. That's kind of what I would like in college games. But they do have the rest. They have the team, the year, the player name, what year he is in school, and his height. I do kind of like at least having the height and the year. You can tell if he's a freshman, a one-and-done type of guy or not. This is sophomore Akeem Olajuwon. He's going to play one more season. I know he goes till his junior year. That kind of gives you the realization that this is Clyde Drexler as a junior, his last season with the team. I kind of like that fact. Larry Mishaw, he is a senior as well. So the team defensive card is also kind of similar. It kind of tells you what conference they're in, what their conference record was, their overall record, and where they finished in the NCAA tournament. So that's kind of interesting. They got defensive three-point percentage, offensive fouls, baskets allowed. That's it. I've kind of added my own workaround trying to get a few block shots in the game. I add these players' names to certain numbers on certain teams, and you'll see that when I do a couple little plays of this demonstration. So anyway, that's about it. All you need is 2 dice. That doesn't come with the game. You don't get a game, if you're going to get a game box, it's probably just going to be some white game box, much like Hoops. Hoops gives you this kind of box. I assume if you bought one of the print seasons, you'd probably get it sent in that kind of box if you bought a couple conferences or a full league. If you bought the entire league, I think it's $150 to buy the entire NCAA set of teams. And I don't even know how you'd fit those in one box. It must be a bigger box, maybe 2 of those boxes. But anyway, all you need is 2 dice. That's real simple. I do love that. I bring in a 1 to 4 marker here. When an assist occurs, I like to just hand out an assist with a separate die roll, but I don't need to use that all that often. But anyway, that's how that works. The game flow is pretty darn simple. It's pretty much this little deck of cards. You flip one, you roll the dice, and it just goes back and forth and back and forth. Andy Vasello has minimized the amount of card flips by the fact that you're just kind of playing off one card, and you will use that card multiple times. If you shoot off it, you also use it for your rebound. So I'm kind of interested to see how this gameplay is going to work out, because I've got the use of the team defensive card where they will actually give up baskets now. So let's find out. This is actually Louisville and Houston. They actually met in the NCAA Final Four, and Louisville ended up falling to the Houston Cougars. I watched a little bit of it on YouTube yesterday, and it was a pretty good game. Louisville actually had a 5-point lead, I believe 41-36 at the half, and then Houston made a charge and just was unstoppable. Olajuwon and Drexler had good scoring games, and they advanced to the NCAA championship game. So these are 2 high-flying teams. They both block a ton of shots. That's why I wanted to include the shot blocking. I believe per 40 minutes, Houston estimated at 7.9 blocks per 40 minutes. Louisville 7.0. So that's got to be 2 of the higher ones in the nation, I imagine, because Olajuwon per minute played gets so many block shots. I think he is 7.5 blocks per 40 minutes. That's crazy. I think he only played 28 minutes per game. He was still learning the game. He was in his infancy of the game, but by the time the tournament rolled around, he was playing close to 40 minutes every time out. So this should be a really good game. I can see Louisville competing really well with this team, even though in lost in real life. It will be a battle of the rebounds and see how things go with on defense. Now using the team defensive cards, I'm really interested to see how this game plays out. All right. I made a quick switch with Scooter and Roddy McRae. Roddy McRae is listed as a small forward, but Scooter McRae is only listed as a power forward, so he's going to be the power forward in this lineup against Larry Mishaw. Drexler will be guarding Roddy McRae and vice versa. Amazingly, Rodney McRae and Clyde Drexler both played for the Houston Rockets of the NBA. So I'm just going to do a jump ball with a dice roll for each guy. I think that's the rule. 1 for Charles, 5 for Olajuwon, and Houston will start with the ball. Power forward, Larry Mishaw. And you got to check to see the defense is going to be used. So it'll be Scooter McRae's defensive column. And each defensive column is mostly a combination of passes and steals and fouls. So let's see what Scooter McRae gets. A 6. That's going to be a steal. Turnover, Mishaw. And that's a steal by Scooter. And when a steal occurs, it says player offense, which means you instantly go to the player offensive card. That is very well described by Andy Fazelio. So let's see if Scooter McRae can score on the break. And that's a 7, no good. We're hoping they shoot better than 38% this time, even despite the fact they're playing the vaunted defense of the Houston Cougars. And the rebound, you do not need to turn a card, so you just go defensive shooting guard, automatic rebound to Michael Young. You stay on that card, and it goes to the point guard. Pretty simple. And then you just need to determine if it's offense or team defense. And the team defensive card of Louisville is right here. We'll see what happens. I've got my modifications for block shots, and that is a 6. And that's a miss on the team defensive card, and the modification for a 6 is a Charles Jones block shot. So I don't know if I overdid those. That was just kind of done very quickly. So Alvin Franklin gets a miss. Charles Jones gets a block. Rebound, defensive team rebound. So that's going to go to Louisville. And they take over. Small forward. Don't even have to flip a card for that. It's the small forward. Offense for Rodney McRae, who had a fabulous first game despite that strange rule with the team defensive card. And 11 is a pass. Goes to the center, Charles Jones. Charles Jones, offensive card, going up. Look at his offensive column. He got an 8. Scores. Charles Jones, who went scoreless in the last game. I think he was over 4 or over 5. And after you score a basket, you check for an assist. Assist, shooting guard equal to 10, and the shooting guard is 1 to 8. So Milt Wagner does not get an assist on the play. Play continues without turning a card. Goes to Michael Young. Offensive Michael Young. And that's a 4. There's a blank spot. That's a miss. Game flows pretty darn fast. Rebound. Offensive power forward. That's Larry Mishaw. 12. Defensive center. 11. So it looks like Larry Mishaw gets the offensive rebound. So when you get an offensive rebound, you have the opportunity to put the ball right back up. So you use the offensive card. You have the option, of course, just to set it up if you need to slow down the offense and take time off the clock like a college strategist would do, like a late Bobby Knight. Missed shot by Mishaw. That's got an 11. See, there's a blank spot right there. So rebound now. Since you already used up the 1 line for the offensive power forward, you go to the high on the offensive among offensive forwards versus the high among the defensive guards. So the high among the offensive forwards, Clyde's a 14. And the defensive guards is an 8 for Lancaster. So we're going to get another offensive rebound here in Clyde Drexler. This was a very good rebounding team. Clyde's going to go straight up with his shot. That's a 4. Scores! Drexler on the offensive glass. And that ties the game up at 2. Heads out the point guard. That's Lancaster Gordon. Offensive column. Pretty simple. 7 scores, Lancaster Gordon. Didn't have a great game in the last one I played, but of course that could have been part of the team defensive card issues I was having. Assist center 8. He's just a 1-3, so no assist is awarded. Ball goes to Michael Young, a good shooting guard, drafted by the Celtics as I recall. Offensive column 9, no good. So he's 0 for 2. Rebound, defensive power forward. See, there's some automatics. And there's Scooter. Rodney McRae, Scooter McRae. Ball goes to the shooting guard, Milt Wagner. Offensive column 6, he scores, Milt Wagner. So it is 6-2. You check for an assist. The power forward is at least a 6. 1-10. Both McRae's have a 1-10. That's pretty good passing for the forwards. They must have been trained by the same coaches. Here comes the small forward, Clyde the Glide. Team defense. And that's a 5. And that's an offensive foul on Clyde. Yeah, offensive fouls are quite arbitrary. The only way you're going to get an offensive foul is by utilizing the team defensive card. So that's pretty straight line. Andy must have figured that was just offensive fouls are somewhat infrequent, so let's just make them kind of standardized. So it's a little bit different right there. We also have, let me take a look, Clyde scored there. You get your defensive fouls mostly on that defensive column unless you draw a lot of fouls. Clyde draws them on 2 and 12. But an interesting way it was set up. So anyway, we're going to continue with Louisville. And it's the small forward Rodney McRae. Offensive column 6. He's going to pass the ball to the center, Charles Jones. Offense 12, no good by Charles. Rebound, offensive power forward +1, and he's a 9 versus Misha 12, so he's going to need a 4 or more to get this offensive rebounder. Scooter McRae, no. And that's Misha with the rebound. I do like the source of rebound battles. One other thing I was going to notice, basket and fouls are really rare in this game. I don't see them on a lot of player cards. There's one for Charles Jones, but really they don't occur too often. That was one of those things I thought, everybody's got to get a basket and foul sooner or later, but I guess not. So Misha grabbed the rebound. Ball goes to Alvin Franklin. Alvin Franklin, defense. That's a 5, and that's going to be a pass. Passes off to the shooting guard. That's, whoops, Michael Young. Offense. That's an 8. Scores, Michael Young. And excuse me if I lose my train of thought once in a while. There's just a lot of stuff going on in the background. Assist goes to the point guard 15. That's 1-18 Alvin Franklin. That's good passing by the freshman Alvin Franklin. 6'2". Lancaster Gordon comes right back. Defender Alvin Franklin. That's a 5. Stolen. Turnover by Lancaster Gordon. Steal by Alvin Franklin. And the little guard's going to try to go coast to coast. That's a 7. He scores, Alvin Franklin. Game's all tied at 6. Ball goes into Charles Jones. And here's an interesting card here. It's a 4 asterisk. So your offensive capability, you have to shoot enough shots to earn that 4. There's a 3 for Lancaster Gordon next to their name. There's a 5 for Milt Wagner. Those are the only 2 guys in the range. But because it was designed for Charles Jones, he doesn't have a characteristic of that, so time to pass the ball. Way to moderate who gets to shoot more or less. Ball goes to Rodney McRae. Defensive card is Clyde the Glide. And like clockwork, Clyde gets another foul. That's just the first team foul. Point guard, Lancaster Gordon, team defense. And that's an 8. Man, that's going to be a, I think it's determined that's a block for Olajuwon. I said 6, 8, and 10. We'll give Olajuwon a block on that play. Missed by Gordon. He got 7.5 blocks per 40 minutes. That's Mark Eaton-esque, if not better. Rebound, offensive shooting guard versus defensive shooting guard, 2 dice. So the offensive shooting guard has a 2. The defensive shooting guard has a 13, and he gets 2 dice. So if I rolled those dice, it would be a 21. That would be an easy rebound for Michael Young. Some guards can rebound, others can't. And so the ball goes to the small forward, Clyde. Let's see if he can avoid a third foul here. Offensive card. 9. He scores! Clyde the Glide, 4 points. Houston vaults into the lead. This is small forward 4, but that is Clyde. So if not, the scorer, you use the shooting guard. If I have a 4 for the shooting guard, or 1 to 7, if he's in the range, he is Young with the assist. All right, back over to Louisville. Scooter. Team defense. Houston's team defense, 4. Do I have any blocks on 4? Larry Mishaw blocks McCray. A rebound goes to the offensive center, Jones. If he has 2 dice, he's got a 10. And Olajuwon's a 28 on the defensive center. Even with 2 dice, he has no chance of grabbing that offensive rebound, so Olajuwon grabs it. That shows how great Olajuwon was per minute played. Ball goes to Akeem. Defender is Charles. Charles will foul. First team foul on Louisville. They just inbound the ball. Alvin Franklin. Team defense. And that's a 9. Do I have any defensive modifiers on Louisville? Billy Thompson not in the game, so that is just going to be a miss shot for Alvin. Rebounded by the offensive small forward, 2 dice versus the defensive small forward. Well, Rodney McCray is a 22, so Clyde's going to need to get a 9 in order to get this offensive rebound. And he gets a 10. Rebound, Clyde. Skies for that offensive rebound. He's going up. You have an option to go up for a putback basket. And Clyde gets a 5 assist. He's doing it all. Clyde Drexler. Great pass. Points go to one of his teammates. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Franklin for 2. 4 points for Alvin. And that's about 8 straight for the Houston Cougars. Power forward, Scooter. Defender, Larry Mishaw. And that's a 5. That's a steal. Turnover, Scooter. Steal by Mishaw. Mishaw's running down. He's going to try and do a fast break shot here. That's a 9. That's no good. Rebound, offensive center. 27. Defensive small forward. 22. Olajuwon, unstoppable. Moses Malone trained him during a summer, so I think it really paid off. Although I think you just have an instinct for rebounds. Olajuwon's going up with a putback. It's a 7. He's going to pass. Passes it to Clyde. 1 or better. No, Clyde does not have a 1, so it goes over to Alvin Franklin. 5 or better? Nope, he's got a 2. And it stays in Alvin's hands. Offensive shot. Here he goes. 3, no good. Franklin getting a lot of shots. He's 2 for 5. Rebound. Offensive small forward versus defensive small forward. Good rebounding by Rodney McCray. His first. He had about 17 or 18 rebounds the last game I played him. Ball goes to Charles Jones. Defense of Houston. 8 blocked by Olajuwon, missed by Jones. Who knows if I put too many blocks in there, but it still makes the game fun. Rebound, offensive small forward McRae. That's a 17. Defensive power forward does not have enough. So Rodney McRae, even playing the small forward position, still plucks those rebounds away. Goes up with his shot, no good. Rebound to the defensive center, Olajuwon. 2 teams with rebounding specialists. Ball stays in Olajuwon's hands. Team defense of Louisville, that's a 6. Do I have a modifier on that? I can't remember. Louisville on a 6. Charles Jones blocks Olajuwon. Two blocks for Jones, rebounded by Rodney McRae. Ball goes to the center, Charles Jones. Offensive column. And here we go. 6 pass. Passes off to Scooter. Scooter's offensive column. Let's see what he does. That's a 3 assist. Scooter McRae. Great play by McRae. And that'll give them 8. Who do the points go to? That's a 1. His brother, Rodney McRae, gets his first 2. It's 10-8. Ball goes to the power forward. Misha. Offensive column. And you look at the 4. Missed shot by Misha. He's 0 for 3. Rebounded by Jones. Goes to the small forward, McRae. Offensive card for Rodney McRae. That's an 11. That's a pass. Passes it off to Charles Jones. And he's on offense. 3. Turnover, Charles Jones. Just a general turnover. Ball goes back to the point guard, Alvin Franklin. Offense. 2. Draws the foul. And there's a way to randomize that foul. It's 1, 2. You roll 1 die. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's still a defender. So let's find out who fouls. 2. Rodney McRae. So Franklin's going to go to the line. He's 2 to 7 and 12, which I know is probably somewhere in the early 60s in percentage-wise. 12, he got the first one. 4, he got them both. So it's 12-8 Houston. And as you can see, I've gone at least 5 minutes into this because this stack is less than half full right now. Let's finish off at least 10 minutes for this demonstration. Point guard. Lancaster Gordon. Whoop. Defense. Alvin Franklin forces the pass. And it's going to go to the small forward, which is Rodney McRae. 3 or better on offense? Nope. Goes to the center. There's going to be some passing going on. Team defense of Houston. And that's a 9. And that's a basket. Possibly my first ever basket on a team defensive card. So, yeah, that was Charles Jones getting 2 points. He's already taken 4 shots. He didn't shoot much at the NBA level. I think he shot a little bit more at the University of Louisville. And I believe Charles is one of the youngest brothers of Caldwell Jones and Will Jones, a couple of the other Jones brothers. Assist. Point power forward 19, no. All right. It's 12-10. Pass the ball into Akeem the Dream. Offensive column. 6, no good by Olajuwon. Rebound, offensive center, defensive center. We've had this battle before. There's no chance for Jones to grab that defensive board, even with 2 dice. The ball stays in Akeem's possession. He goes up 8. He scores Olajuwon's first 2. 14-10. Charles Jones. Defense of Olajuwon. Steal by Akeem. You can see he's got a lot of fouls. Akeem was a tad bit foul prone. He figured that out by the time he got to the NBA. Cat-like reflexes by Olajuwon. He is going coast to coast. 3, he scores, Olajuwon. He hit about 60% from the floor. And Houston streaks ahead 16-10, power forward. Scooter. Offense. 11. Assist, Scooter McRae. Good passing by Scooter. He's 0 for 2, but he's moving the ball around. 16-12. The basket goes to a 4. Milt Wagner. Wagner 2 for 2 on the day. Ball goes back to Olajuwon. Offensive column. 5. He scores again. Olajuwon with 6 points. He's made his last 3 after missing his first 2. 18-12. Power forward 14. No on the assist. A lot of center cards toward the end of this deck. Team defense. 7. Another basket on the team defensive card by Charles Jones. He's got 6. He's got as many as Akeem. 18-14. Assist small forward 7. I'm sure he does. 1-10. Assist Rodney McRae. Ball goes to the point guard. It's Alvin Franklin. Team defense of Louisville. And that's an 8. That's a basket. Oh my goodness, we're scoring on team defensive cards. I was wondering why that was so peculiar. 20-14, assisted by shooting guard 17, no. And it's going to go to the shooting guard. Wagner. Shoots 10. No turnover. Milt Wagner. Back to the center again. Hakeem Olajuwon. Team defense. 5. Charging on Olajuwon. His first foul. Back to the shooting guard. Louisville. Not wasting any time. Wagner. Another turnover. I rolled 10. On back-to-back plays. Ball goes to small forward Clyde. Clyde defender. Rodney McRae. That's a steal. Turnover Drexler. Rodney McRae at the steal. He's going to run it up the court. Go for the fast break shot. Passes. Point guard. Gordon. Team defense. Another basket. It's amazing when you get baskets on team defensive cards, how quickly you can score. Assist power forward 5. Yes. Scooter McRae. Passing machine. Power forward Larry Misha. Offense. Misha looking for his first hoop. 9. He cannot buy a bucket. 0 for 4. Might have to make a substitution at the 10-minute mark for him. Rebound offensive point guard. Automatic. Alvin Franklin. He's inside. He's going to shoot it. He scores. Alvin Franklin. 8 points. Houston by 6. Point guard Lancaster Gordon. Defense of Alvin Franklin. 11. That's a pass. A lot of passes on that one. Small forward. McRae. Defensive Drexler. 8. Steals the ball. Turnover McRae. Clyde averaged... Whoops, what did I just do wrong? Oh, I see. Made a little housekeeping error. Okay, turnover McRae. Steal by Clyde the Glide. And so Clyde with the steal, and you can imagine what he's going to do on the break. 2, draws the foul. 2-shot foul. And it's on 1, it's on Scoot. Second foul on Scooter McRae. Clyde with 2 free throw tries. A 9 is not going to be the Bulldog, and that one will. All right. Clyde gets his 5th point. And that's 10 minutes of gameplay. That doesn't take very long, obviously, and that is CB2K by Andy Vaselio. A pretty smooth running game. I'm so glad I figured out the team defense basket/pass definition. I finally figured it out after 2 games, but probably didn't decide the games. It just lowered field goal attempts and lowered some field goal percentages, but you never know. You never know. But that's why you play the games. That's why you learn as you go. I made plenty of little errors with bank shot basketball while I'm still learning that one as well. So anyway, this is CB2K. It has 11 players per team, and it has 2 team defensive cards. The 11 players per team in college, at least throughout most of NCAA history, is more than enough players to play on a team, because generally the starters carry most of the load with a few exceptions. And so even though I've got a couple good backups on these teams, these are the elite teams of the league. They made the Final Four, and they obviously have some good players that they recruit really well at Louisville and Houston. So anyway, this has been a look at an error and a review of CB2K basketball by Andy Vaselio. I will post the final score of this game in this video, but thanks for watching, and appreciate everyone who subscribes to the channel and everyone who's watching this channel. Have a good day from Rod's Tabletop Hoops. Well, I'm just kidding. Let's play some more minutes of this game. Wouldn't leave you guys out in the cold. I made a couple substitutions. We got Billy Hamilton and Jeff Hall into the game for Louisville. And Jeff Hall's just a shooter. We also have for Houston, Benny Anders and Brian Williams into the game. It's 24-16, and it is Louisville's ball. The last card had shooting guard Jeff Hall. And Jeff Hall's offense. The freshman shoots. He scores. Jeff Hall. Assist on the play. Power forward. Rodney McRae. Ball goes back over to Houston. They go to Michael Young. Offense for Young. 4, no good. Rebound. Defensive small forward, Billy Thompson. Thompson retains possession. Defender is Benny Anders. And that is a foul on Anders. So that is just 2 team fouls for Houston. Hand the ball off to Rodney McRae. Defenders Brian Williams. There's a lot of fouls on that card. 8 foul Brian Williams. There's a reason he doesn't play too much. Just figured Misha was 0 for 4, put in Williams. So there's another foul. That is the 3rd team foul. Ball ends up in Milt Wagner's hands. 1 or better on offense. He's a 5, so fires away. Assist. Milt Wagner, nice play. Cuts the lead to 4. Basket goes to 3. Charles Jones. Charles with 8 points now. Oh, my official score has 23-20. I'm sorry about that. Always got to double check once in a while. Sometimes when I return on that screen, it flips the score ahead. So here comes the small forward Benny Anders. Team defense of Louisville. That is a 9. And that is a block by Billy Thompson, missed by Anders. Rebound, defensive shooting guard, Jeff Hall. Hall with the ball. Offensive column. And he scores again. Jeff Hall providing a spark off the bench. It's a 1-point game. Assisted by Milt Wagner. All right, Houston needs to regroup. Back to Anders. Defensive Thompson. And that's a 4. That's a foul, Billy. Little foul prone, Billy Thompson. And that is the 4th team foul. Ball goes back to Olajuwon. Offensive column. Hakeem, 3, scores. Olajuwon, 8 points. 25-22, assisted by Michael Young. Back to Hall. 2 or better on offense. Hall is only a 1, so Hall's going to pass the ball over to Rodney McCray. Defender is Williams, and that's another foul on Brian Williams. Foul fest by the Houston bench. That is now 4 team fouls. Ball goes into Charles Jones. Defender's Olajuwon. And that's a steal. Turnover. Charles Jones. Steal by Olajuwon. Came on the breakaway. It's a 9. It's a turnover for Olajuwon. Power forward. McCray. Offense, Rodney McCray. 8, no good. He's a high percentage shooter. I got the lone 8 there. He's 1 for 3, rebounded by offensive power forward, defensive point guard. Offensive power forward, 17. Defensive point guard. Looks like an easy rebound from McCray. And McCray's going to go up. That's a 4. That's going to be a pass. Going to pass it over to Hall, who's been hot. Defender is Michael Young. And there's another pass. Stays in Hall's hands. Offense. Hall, no good. Rebound. High at the offensive guard. 2 is the high. High defensive guard, and that'll be Michael Young easily grabbing that rebound. Houston gets it over to the power forward. Brian Williams, 4 or better, no. Shooting guard. Michael Young, team defense. And that's a 9. And that's another block by Billy Thompson. Probably overdid those a little bit, but that's okay. Having fun with it. Michael Young with the miss. Rebound, defensive point guard, Milt Wagner. Wagner with the ball. Offensive column, Milt Wagner goes up. Misfires. Rebound. Offensive small forward, 10. Defensive small forward +1 die. He's got an 8. Benny needs at least a 2. He gets a 1. Rebound, Billy Thompson. That happens once in a while. Thompson's going to go up. 10 scores, Billy Thompson. We got a good game going here. 25-24. Back to Houston. Team defense. 6. Who's going to block that one? Charles Jones. Miss. Miss by Young. He's only 1 for 6. Should have taken him out of the game. Rebounded by, blocked by Charles Jones. Rebounded by shooter versus defender. And that's going to be easily Michael Young. Great rebounder. Goes back up. 9, no good again. 1 for 7. Got to get Franklin back in there. Offensive power forward, Williams. With the rebound, Williams is going to go back up. Houston pounding the glass. 8. He is fouled. That's on 3. 1, 2, 3. Charles Jones. That's his second. 2 shots for Brian Williams. He's just a 2 to 5 and 11. This is not a great chance, folks. Misses the first. And misses them both. Williams has been a little bit of a liability since coming in. Rebound. I got to turn another card. Defensive point guard grabs the rebound. Wagner. Power forward. Rodney McRae. Team defense. That's a 9. That's a basket. Rodney McRae. Scoring on Houston's team defensive card. Louisville vaults into the lead. Assist small forward 9. No. Ball goes back to Brian Williams. Gets another opportunity here. Defenders McRae. And that's a 2. Steal. Turnover Brian Williams. Looking a little out of place. Rodney McRae plays on just a different level. Here comes McRae on the breakaway. Missed another one. I got that 8 again. Rebound offensive power forward. That's going to be McRae. Crashing the boards. Going up. 3. Pass. And it says power forward again. Defensive Brian Williams. Foul. Williams, his 3rd since coming into the game. And that is for 5 team fouls. Shooting guard. Whoops. I'm sorry. I got that wrong. It was actually center defense. Center defense. Olajuwon 9. Steal. Turnover Charles Jones. Olajuwon getting the steals. He's going to go on the break. 5. He scores. Olajuwon. Shooting guard. We're getting close to the 5 minutes mark of the half. Shooting guard Hall. Team defense. 2. Foul on Houston. 2. 1, 2. Benny Anders. His second foul. And it's two-shot foul anyway for Hall. Well, that is 16 fouls. Penalty be coming up next. Hall with an 8. Not good. 9. Not good. Jeff Hall hit about 60. I don't think he shot many free throws. About less than 2 a game. Rebounded by Olajuwon. How close are we? That's close enough. I think that's 5 minutes in. We're going to make a couple changes. Houston, those subs just did not work out for them. All right, a couple substitutions. Milt Wagner's going to take a break for Louisville. Scooter McRae returns, replacing Charles Jones, who played the whole game to this point. For Houston, Michaud, Drexler, and Alvin Franklin all returned. Benny Anders was not panning out. Guy Lewis got a little upset with him, threw him on the bench along with Brian Williams, the foul machine. So we still have Reed Geddes in the lineup for Houston. Houston leads by 1 point. Small forward. Billy Thompson. Team defense. And that's an 8. I'll call that a block by Olajuwon. Thompson with the miss. Block by the Dream. Rebound offensive small forward versus defensive small forward plus. 2 dice. Clyde's a good rebounder at the small forward. He's got a 19 there. Automatic. Clyde the Glide. With the board. Hands the ball off to his point guard, Reed Geddes. Geddes with that fantastic offensive column. 5 denies, an auto assist. And an assist. One of the finest assisting columns you'll ever see anywhere. Reed Geddes. He averaged about 6 assists, I think, in about 20 minutes a game, something of that nature. 1, 2, 3. Akeem Olajuwon enables Akeem to hit his 6th field goal in a row. And it's now 29-26 Houston. Got to get the ball to Geddes more often. Power forward. McCray. Defender is Micho. 9 is a pass. Small forward. Thompson. Offensive column. Billy. No good. Rebound. Defensive center Olajuwon. Hands the ball off to the shooting guard Alvin Franklin. Because we got a 1-20 and a 1-18. That's crazy. Defender of Alvin Franklin is Jeff Hall. 9, that's a steal. Turnover Franklin. Oops. Where's Hall? Gets that steal. Hall's going to go on the breakaway. 6, no good on the shot by Jeff Hall. Rebound, defensive power forward, Larry Misha. And the ball goes into Olajuwon, who's having a solid first half. Team defense of Louisville, it's a 4. And 4 is no good. What's Louisville's 4? Nobody's on a 4, so it's just a miss for Olajuwon. Had to check my block shot readings. Rebound. Offensive power forward, 2 dice. So he's got a 12. McCray's got a 17, so he's going to need a 6 or more. And Larry Misha gets the offensive glass. He has yet to score in 4 attempts. Going up, 5, he scores. Misha, good shot in the 50s, 55% at least, maybe 58. He scores. It's 31-26. Houston muscling their way back into the advantage here. Point guard, Lancaster Gordon. Defenders, Geddes. Pass. Shooting guard, Jeff Hall. He likes to shoot. He's free to shoot. On its way. Scores, Jeff Hall with 6 points. 31-28. Assist center 12. No. All right. Small forward. Clyde back in the game. 2 or better on offense? No. Shooting guard. Alvin Franklin. Team defense of Louisville. 7. Good. Alvin Franklin scores on the team defensive card. It's interesting actually playing that way. All right. By the rules, that is. Assist no center. Okay. Shooting guard. Back to Jeff Hall. 5 or better. No, he's just a 1. Goes into Scooter. Hasn't shown much offense shooting-wise for me. Team defense of Houston. And that's a 10. I gave that a block to Akeem. Maybe I overdid it. But it's a block to Akeem. A missed shot from McCray. And the rebound goes shooter versus defender. Is Akeem the defender? Shooter was McCray versus defender. Yeah, it was Olajuwon anyway. So Olajuwon's going to easily grab that rebound. The best rebounder in the game. And goes to the point guard. Reed Geddes. Oh, it's a team defense. Louisville, 10. No, 10. Is there any readings on Louisville? Scooter with a block shot of Reed Geddes. I can always adjust that if there's too many blocks going on. Rebound. High at the offensive forward. 14. Clyde Drexler. High at the defensive forward. As I recall, 17 for Rodney McCray. McCray starting to grab those boards. And that's 6 rebounds for McCray. Ball stays in McCray's hands. Fumbles it, gets it back. Shoots it up, he scores! Rodney McCray. 6 for McCray. Back down to 3. Assist point guard, 8. It's going to be Lancaster Gordon. Spent some time in Clipperland. And here comes Clyde. Clyde the Glide. 3 or better on offense. No. Hand it to Larry. Larry can score. On its way, Micho. 6, he scores again. Back-to-back baskets for Micho. 35-30. See, now we're on pace to score closer to 70 points. That's what the offense should be doing. Point guard 20. Assist, Reed Geddes. Gives him 2 assists. Power forward, McRae. Offensive column, Rodney McRae. 4, he's going to pass it to the point guard. Gets it into Lancaster Gordon. Team defense. And it's a 3. Do I have any Houston modifiers on a 3? No, I don't. Just a missed shot by Lancaster Gordon. Rebound. Defensive power forward, Misha. Give Larry 5 boards. Misha's going to maintain possession on offense here. Team defensive card. And that's a 9. And that's going to be a team defense 9. And a Billy Thompson block missed by Misha. Yeah, it's 3 blocks for Billy. Maybe a little overpowered. Rebound. Offense. High offense versus high defense. And the high offense is 27. That is Olajuwon and Olajuwon only. That's what that card was designed to seek out the Dennis Rodman types, Moses Malone types. 2. Pass by Olajuwon. Stays in Olajuwon's possession. But now it's the defense of Scooter on Akeem. Steals the ball away. Scooter with a steal. He's going to take it. Run with it. Go up with it. 7, no good. Scooter struggling from the floor. 0 for 4. I think he was 3 of 9 or something the last game I played him. Rebounded by Rodney McRae automatically. He is starting to accumulate those boards. Rodney McRae scores. Give him 8 on 4 of 8. 35-32. Ball goes to the small forward, Clyde. Oh, whoops, I've already rolled. Whatever it is. Offense, 5. Assists, Clyde Drexler. Good play by Clyde. We give that basket to who? To whom? It's a 4. So it's going to be Alvin Franklin having a great half. That's 14 for Franklin. Akeem has 12 points and 8 boards. That is quite a duo right now. Small forward, Billy. Offense. He can play offense. 8, no good. 1 for 4 for Billy. Rebound, defensive small forward, Clyde the Glide. Power forward, Misha. Offense. He's going to try to do it again. He scores. Misha's on fire now. 6 for Misha. Hit 3 of 4 since coming back. Assist. Point guard 10. They've got the assists covered in this one. I think there was too many lobs for Phi Slamma Jamma. They just gave him assists every single time those went in. Point guard Lancaster Gordon. Running out of time here. Team defense of Akeem and company. 8 blocked by Akeem. Missed by Gordon. Blocked by Olajuwon. Rebounded by offensive small forward +1 die. He's got a 10 versus Clyde has a 19. Seriously, Clyde Otto gets it anyway. Clyde Drexler. And so the ball's going to go to the shooting guards. This is probably the final shot. Alvin Franklin. Offense. Franklin goes up. 4. Draws the foul. I did not see that under the die, but it's a 2-shot foul. And it's a 5. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jeff Hall, his defender. And that'll end the half with Franklin trying to give them 40 points on the half. He makes the first. He makes them both. Give Houston a 41-point half. That's a lot closer to what they actually averaged. I think they're around 77 points a game. 41-32. It is official. It is halftime. And let's take a quick look at some of the leading scorers. For Louisville, Rodney McRae, 8 points. 4 of 7 from the floor. I thought he was 4 of 8. Scooter, 0. But Scooter does have some assists. He has 4 assists. Charles Jones, 8 points on 4 of 6. Gordon and Wagner both have just 4 points. Haven't taken a lot of shots. Rebound leader is 7 for Rodney McCray. For Houston, Larry Mishaw has 6 points and 5 boards. Clyde, 5 points, 5 boards, 2 assists. Olajuwon, 12 points, 8 boards on 6 of 9. Alvin Franklin, the story of the game, 6 of 9. 16 points, 1 assist, and 1 steal. Michael Young is just 1 of 7 from the floor. Had to throw him down to the bench. And the remainder of the bench hasn't scored. So Houston had a good start. Louisville came storming back when I made a couple substitutions and got the starters back in there, and Houston prevailed once again. So we're at halftime, 41-32.